Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing okay. I thought I'd pop on today and make another page for our September snacks journal and see if we can make an attempt at getting it finished. So I've selected this page and I have torn out of my popular encyclopedia of gardening, because they are quite large pages in there, and I wanted a piece big enough to cover that. It's not essential, it's just makes a difference from just the coffee stained paper all the time. So I've torn that out actually with my tear ruler and gone around it with vintage photo just to darken it a little bit. And I have selected a piece of, well, you tell me, we all know what it is, it's Edith, and it's the dog roses, which are just beautiful. I love them. And this was on a page, I think it had sparrows or something on it as well, but I just chopped this out of the page. I'd already chopped into it, so it wasn't too much of a tragedy. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, but that's an arbitrary measurement. You know, you use what you're going to use. And that's going to go there down that edge, and then down here I want a colour swatch. Now this is definitely inspired by Chinooki art, Shana Chinooki art, and those of you that don't follow her, honestly you're missing a treat. I know Janya does, I don't know who else does, but she does some lovely projects, and this was a project this week, except I've changed it a bit, but never mind. So I want to make a colour swatch for 4 of the colours that are on here, 2 of the eucalyptus and 2 of the rose pink. So I need to draw myself a swatch block. So I'm coming in about 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch from the top, make a little mark, then 1 inch from there, then allow 1/2 inch between them and 1 inch from there, 1/2 inch from there, 1/2 inch, try and keep them straight if I can, 1/2 inch and 1 inch from there. Okay, so same on the other side, except I want them to come in a little bit more, about 3/4 inch in from the side. So 1/2 inch down, then 1 inch, and that's our colour swatch. 1/2 inch is the gap, another inch is the swatch 2, 1/2 inch gap, box 3, 1/2 inch gap, and there. So there we are, we've got our block sides put in, if you like. So let's just draw the lines and join them up. So get your ruler straight, it's a good idea first. So just join them up and leave the bit where the gap is. And down this side, which I did in at 1/2 inch, I think, wasn't it? I think so. So join up, join up. If you've got a stamp that does something like this, use a stamp. And then let's just draw these together and hope that they're square. I'm not exactly convinced that they are, but you know, there'll be something like square. This side's a bit higher, I think, all the way up, but never mind. Never mind, it doesn't matter. We have erasers to hand for such a job. Here we are. Okay, so I've got 4 swatch boxes now. I think they're near enough. That one looks smaller. Does that one look smaller to you? It's an inch. It's an inch. It's an inch. No, it's just my eyesight. Okay, so I can cut that off there now if I want to, and I want to, so let's do that. So I'm just going to cut it off about 1/2 inch at the bottom. This is watercolour card that I'm using because I'm going watercolouring. If you're not, if you're going to be sticking on bits from magazines or whatever, you don't need to do that. And I want the wider margin on my right because it's going to go on this side here, and this is the open side of the journal. If you're doing it the other way around, then you want the larger margin down the left hand side. Okay, so before I came on, I mixed some colours up because it's just easier that way, and I'm using my Elizabeth Crafts Design watercolour palette, and I mixed up, for those of you who might be using something similar, I mixed up indigo, yellow ochre and white, and I've got no white watercolour. It doesn't really exist in truth. I used opaque white. It's an airbrush white actually, but it's very liquid. So those are the ones that I mixed up. Now they've subsequently dried, of course, but because they're watercolour I can just resurrect them. And let's get a bit of blue roll. And a brush. And just pick some of this up. Oh, splotched in a square there. And just paint this on. So there's no special technique or anything. In fact, you know, it kind of looks better if it's a bit blotchy, to be honest. But whatever, do what you fancy. As I say, if you want to use distress inks, you could try those. See what colours you can mix. I'm just adding extra blotchiness to this. It'll dry fairly similar, to be honest. I'm going to put some white out because I want to lighten that up for the next one. It's the same colour, but it's just a lighter tint. So let's take some white and add it into there. And we'll get a very wishy-washy eucalyptus colour. Looks about the same to me. Looks very similar to the one above. And give that another coat, which will darken it down because one coat will sit on top of the other. So that's hopefully 2 shades. And then the pink, the rose pink, which I mixed with this colour, which I'm not sure actually what it is. It looks like opera rose, and white, and a tiny little bit of peach. So I'll put this one down. So you don't really need to take your time, you don't need to be careful with it as such. You don't even really need to stick inside the lines if you don't want. So there we are, that's that pink. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of this darker pink and add it through there. And it will just give us that darker colour that you can see in there. Woo! So let's, don't know what that is. I have no idea, it's some sort of hair. I think. So should we just blame Catkin? So it's just a slightly different hue. And as I say, I'm not taking the credit for this. This was an idea. Well, I've seen this idea around before, actually. In fact, I'm not sure that we haven't done this before, swatched out colours. But it was certainly Shanuki that put the idea, Shana, that put the idea into my head. So it's her I want to thank. There we are. So we've got 2 different greens, 2 different pinks. So I'll just go over that again, just darken it down a little bit more with another coat. There we are. So that's, there we go. There are our colours. And I think you'll agree, they look all right. They look right. So that's a good thing. So, yeah, now then, I want to just splash them, you know, there's a word for it, and I can't think what it is. But I'm going to get some water on my brush, I'm going to use this pink, and I'm just going to dot it around there, and then I'm going to pretty much hide that, and I'm going to get my green, my eucalyptusy colour, and splash there. Great, that's lovely. So let me just clean this palette out and put these away, and then I'll be back to you. Okay, so it's the paints away, and these are dry-ish, certainly. So I'm going to take a fine liner, and now you'll see why it doesn't matter if you were exact or not, because I'm going to draw quite wibbly-wobbly lines around the edge of my swatches. And just gives them a bit more life. You can go around twice if you want to. I think once will do me, but it's up to you what you want to do, of course. I think it just makes them look quite handmade, which I like. There we are. So you'll notice that this is not a grungy project. There we go. So they look nice, I think. Now I'm going to take this punch, and it's an EK punch, and it's this one that gives you the, looks like the side of a spiral notebook that you've torn the page out of. So let's make a start. Oh, I missed one out in the middle there. So there we are. Lovely. That's it. Get rid of these little bits. They're no use to man the beast. And now I'm just going to ink around it. And I'm going to use Vintage Photo, which is what I used on the book page and on the little bit of Edith. Just because I just can't do it without some ink. I just can't. So I don't want a lot of ink, just, well, a fair bit I suppose. But it is Vintage Photo, so it's nice and light. And once you know how to do this, there's loads of things that you can think of that you want to incorporate this in. You know, it's just really a nice thing, is a swatch chart. So that's that. There we go. Is that wet? Oh, a little bit. So that's going to go down there like that. And this is going to come here like so, and we're going to stick one on top of the other. Is that upside down? Looks like, I think that's it. Stick one on top of the other, and then stick them to the page, and that is a belly band. as unconventional as it appears, that is a belly band. So let's just put a little bit of glue down here. It doesn't want to work, of course it doesn't. Why would it? Let's stick a pin in the end. Oh, it's been very contrary today. Come on, just work for me. It is your job, after all. It's my fault because, you know, I didn't look after it last night. Actually, it might have been 2 days ago. So, yeah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, glue, for playing ball. So let's put that where we want it, and I want that just marginally over, but fairly midway, so about there, let's say there. And then this is going there, like so. Perfect. Lovely. That's great. Now I don't want that ridge in there, so I'm just going to use a bit of washi tape. I really should look out some washi tapes that I don't like and save using the best stuff. But this is to hand at the moment, so let's use it. Just over that ridge. Just stops anything having the idea of catching on something. That's just marginally too long. Let's just trim a weeny bit off there. There we go. That's great. Right, let's get rid of those, otherwise I'll be cursing the next time I want to use them. Put the washi away, and let's just burnish that down. There we go. Okay. So that's our belly band. How nice is that? So that just needs to be stuck down to there, onto the page, and then we just need to think about making a tag or a journaling card or something to go in the back. So, right, glue. Do I want glue or do I want double-sided? Let's see if I've got any double-sided to hand. And I have. So let's use this. Just going to trim off that end bit because it's been sticking out. Let's put this down here. And the person who this book journal, completed journal, will go to is very partial to Edith, and actually asked me if I would include some Edith. So this is now the second page of Edith. I'm not sure I showed you in any great detail what the first Edith page was, but it was borrowing heavily on one of the Gingy pages that we did, just made up with Edith paper. If I remember, I'll show you that before I go. So make sure that's burnished down really well. And then just pick up the release tape. Let's get this stuck on here. So I want it halfway, which is about there, maybe about there. And just make sure that your holes look the same all the way down, and that's going there. Okay. So let's burnish, burnish, burnish. There we go. Lovely. So that's going to get stuck down. This is going to be our belly band. So we want a tag of some sort to go in there. Now, in the post today, I received my pack from Lorna with her latest stamps and everything in it. She sent it the very day the Canadian Post Office workers went on strike. So it has been held up all this time, and I know that loads of other people have had theirs, and you're probably sick of looking at them, although I can't see how you'd be sick of looking at them. They're gorgeous. But these, I'll show you the stamps at another date, but these are the papers. Oh, yeah, they're gorgeous. I'll just put them on the side so you can see them. I mean, they're called wallpapers, bear that in mind, and look at that. Couldn't you just live with that? It's gone full circle, and it's back to being really fashionable. But look at the backs. I can hardly bear to think that's a back. That, if it wasn't that the lady had said she wanted Edith Holden, I would have used this because I love the colours in here. They would have picked out really nicely for a colour swatch. But I do like that pink for the back. I think that might look quite nice. It matches that perfectly. So that might be a strong contender for a tag. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I love them. I love these. Oh, that greeny bluey eucalyptus is a pretty good match as well, isn't it? Yes. And then we're back to the beginning. I think there's 4 copies of each one. So I don't want that one, but that one and the pink one. Oh, which one to go for? I think I'll go with pink because I don't very often use pink. So I think I'll go for the pink. So if you want, if you want papers like this, they're by Creative Expressions and they're by Lorna, tailor-made journals. And I think it's Simon Says Stamps. Simon Says Stamp in the US that sells them. And in this country, if you go to creativeexpressions.uk.com, they of course have them, they're their papers. So I want to make that so it can go in there unimpeded. So let's say I want it to about there, where it starts to go into the corally colours. So that measures about 4 inches. Let's see what that looks like on there. I might cut it at 3 3/4 actually. Yeah, I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4. Three and 3/4, and that way then we don't get any of that corally colour, we just get this gorgeous pink. And I'm left with that as a remnant. It's beautiful. Right, so let's see how tall we want this to be. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? I want it to come up to about here, I think. So let's just slice and dice that. And keep that. You never know when you might need that. I'll have open now a project box for all of the Lorna things that she sent this time. And all those little remnants can go in, and they do prove handy. So that's going to go in there like so. The only problem is it's really not, I think it's 180 and 160, 180, I don't know, does it say? But not thick enough. No, it doesn't say what they are, but I'd say 160. So I need to back that with something, basically, is what I'm saying. So What have I got here that I can use to back it with? Oh. Let's put that away. I don't need that presently. I don't need that. So I've got craft, I've got grey, I've got some cream, but it's not very thick either. Look, I'll lay that out, it might be thick enough. Coffee stained papers, cream paper. Don't think that's big enough, is it? Where's the piece? Here's the piece. Come on. Oh, it is. I'm going to use that then because that's cream card, and I know that'll be thick enough then. So let's stick that onto there, and then we'll have our tag, a journaling card probably. I'm just wondering if it would look nice with a border around it. But no, because it doesn't really go with that. So I'll stick it straight on. Now the other thing I'm wondering is whether to put a stamp on it. I think it needs something on it. The stamps I've got desk dwelling here are this beautiful one. I think it's from Dearly Departed, which would probably look quite nice up there. Yeah, I think I'll do that, and I'll do that before I stick it down. And I'm going to use my stamp platform. I've finally learnt my lesson. So I'll take my magnets off, get rid of this foam bit, put that down there, that fairly centrally there, put my magnets back on, and we should be good to go, hopefully. Oh, that's just spun around. Let's hope it was somewhere where it should be. Yeah, I think we're okay. Whew. Okay, that's not too bad. In fact, it's really nice. I'm just going to very carefully dab a little more ink on that and just go for a next impression. But that's beautiful. And those of you that always ask me what is my stamp platform, it's a Craftelier one. And I bought it because it was less expensive than some. There we go. And I did have a Timmy one, but I managed to bend it. Don't ask me how, I've no idea, but I did. Where's my dirty towel? This has got loads of ink on it, so I mean, but I'm just taking the worst of it off. There we go. Put this back in because otherwise I lose it. Right, so now we can proceed with sticking this down onto there. Oh, doesn't that look so pretty? Honestly, it was no work and it just looked so pretty. So I'm going to use Collal for this one. Oh, doesn't it seem a travesty to cover that up? But what can you do, eh? What are you going to do? I feel a project using these papers coming up though. I've still got a project to do using the first papers that she ever brought out. But I'm thinking that some people might like this wallpaper one. And actually, Teresa, I'm thinking of you. So just make sure you've got that nice and straight. take off any glue that there is around. That is so, so pretty. It's delicate, isn't it? It's unlike things that I normally do. Let's just cut that off. There we go, and save this. And I think shall I round the corners? I think I'll round the corners. Just a little bit though, just on the medium size. And I don't think I'm even going to stitch this. I don't think it needs anything other than what we've got there. Let's see what it looks like in situ. Well, that looks nice. Do you think? I think so. I'm just wondering whether in the Edith book there is any text that says dog roses, and if there is I could add it up there. I might have used them. Oh, it might be a good idea to look in the back. There's an index, isn't there, in the back? Let's have a look at dog roses and see if it comes up there. No. So what else would there be? What else would they be down as? Don't know. Let's see if we can find a picture of them. You'd think I'd know this book inside out now, wouldn't you? I should. Oh, there we are. What are they called? Yeah, dog roses. Rosa canine. Rose dog, I suppose. So let's look up R, see if they're under there. RS. No. Where are they, Edith? Where have you hidden them? Well, they're not there, but I certainly could cut that bit out. I like that bit, without interfering with this. So let's roughly cut that out first. Do I trust myself? Well, I think I'm going to have to. I don't want the bit underneath because that says honeysuckle, and we haven't got any honeysuckle on here. Not sure that's exactly straight, but hey holdy, that can live on my desk for a while. I think I just want the bit that says dog roses. I don't think I want the Latin version. Shall we attempt to straighten this up? Oh, I think that went the wrong way. Blimey. That's not too bad. That's okay. So I can put that there. And then it looks, yeah, let's do that. So let's just give a little bit of ink to that. Okay. I know you like hiding. Oh, there you are, plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. So this is going to be just a little bit tricky to get ink around here because it's titchy. It's titchy. There we are. Let's just hold this with my tweezers. Might be the way forward. Glue. So I'm going to put that there and hope that that is level. Kind of looks level. And that serves as a title both for the card and for that. And it looks very nice like that as well. So let's ink around here. And that was a very quick one, wasn't it? But a really nice one. I'm just going to go around that again. It hasn't got enough ink for my liking. So no stitching, no nothing. If you've got a Daphne's Diary or something like that, you're bound to be able to find colour swatches to cut out. So that just goes in there, into our, what do you call them? Belly bands. Yes. Yes, yes. And, oh, come on. I'll see if I've remembered to show you the other Edith one. So that's going to get stuck in there like that. And that's just going to come out fractionally. And that's fine. I like that idea. So that's that page. I hope you like it. I like it. I'll leave it like that because it needs stuck in. Let's see if I can find the other Edith one that I did. No. No. Gosh, some of these seem so long ago. Here we are. Here it is. So it's a thin belly band. I didn't want to make it thicker because then you wouldn't have seen the beautiful irises. And it's from one of my own templates, and I've just made up a coin envelope. It's got a charm with a daisy on it, and it's this one. You'll remember it. It pulls out, and it pulls out. There we are. So you might remember that from the Gingy. So the one that comes out last you want on the bottom, so that's the bottom. That folds up over the top. They go into the envelope like so. You tuck them out of sight. You leave your little charm hanging out, so give people an idea that yes, this is something that you need to be pulling there. And that's that. So that's that. Let's bring that over to the other side. I don't want it there, like that. Okay, that's fine. So we've still got lots of pages to do, but I just thought that I would bring you along with me on this one. I'll stick that down in place, of course, so you could have a little go yourself and see what you come up with. Using the same basic kind of idea, you could come up with loads of different things, just loads. So I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I've enjoyed your company. It's always nice to know you're there. Thank you. And I'll see you hopefully pretty soon. Bye for now, guys.